Hey, good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are. I'm Robert, and welcome to Living the New Thought Way. This is my third podcast, and today we're going to be covering affirmations and just a little bit about myself. My name is Robert. I'm affiliated with Agape International Spiritual Center in Los Angeles. I'm one of the Agape licensed practitioners. That mean basically we're on the healing ministry and we do spiritual counseling. It's not therapy. So just so you have a little bit of background about me. And I have a special guest today, MM. She's with me today because she's going to cover affirmations, and I'm going to kind of interview her and then interact with MM. And we've been married for 42 years, I do believe. And so she's my spiritual partner and my wife, and we're here together. And it's really a joy to be with you. And this is a spiritual podcast, and so we always come from divine love. And so I'm going to open this podcast with a short prayer, kind of a general prayer, because there are different people from different religions here, backgrounds. So I invite you to just close your eyes for a minute, take in a deep breath, just let it out at your own pace. There you go. And just breathe normally. And just kind of go deep within yourself, connect with yourself. And let's know and affirm once again that there is a divine loving presence that I call God or Spirit. And I know that this presence is everywhere, and it is everything and in everything. And I begin to feel it right within my heart, right within, without any effort. And then I just bless this podcast today, knowing it was already done. It's already done for you and before we even began. And so I'm thankful, and so it is. Amen. And when I say so it is, it's a new thought phrase for amen or amen. So MM.
Yes, Robert.
Tell me something about affirmations.
Okay, sure. An affirmation, it's a positive statement of what you want to experience. I'm looking, I have some notes, so I feel like I do this right. So it said positive statement of what you want to experience, and it's usually stated in the present tense or with the feeling tone that it's already done. Okay, and we'll be talking about that. Like it's already here, you're already experiencing it. So it's not some future thing. Okay, it might be in reality, it's a future thing, but you want to say it in the present so you really get the feeling that it's already done.
So okay, so why would we even want to use affirmations versus someone might say that why would I want to use affirmations just versus just living my life the way it is right now?
Okay.
What do you think about that?
Well, there's nothing wrong with not using affirmations. It's a choice. So if your life is going the way you want it, and you might not need an affirmation, but for most of us, certainly for myself and for a lot of other people, there's you want more in your life. The way business as usual, life as usual isn't really going, and you want more. Okay, you want maybe a better relationship or a good relationship, you want to lose weight, you want more money, you want a better job. It could be any area of your life, but it's if you want your life, things in your life that if there are areas of your life where you want more of, then affirmations can really help.
Okay, so what brings an affirmation alive?
Okay, so what brings it alive and makes it alive and it come alive is getting the good feeling. Okay, so let me just kind of go through the process. Okay,
All right. Yeah.
So you start out, you're identifying an area that you want more, that you want to improve in your life. And I gave lots of examples, of which I've used most of those examples, by the way, for myself. So I've practiced this. So you choose your area that you want to have more of in your life. And then you create a positive statement. Just start with, whatever statement feels comfortable for you. Okay. So you might be saying, I'm just going to use relationships, because we do talk about that and how I used it for our relationship. I use the affirmations for our relationships. But so if you say you want a happy relationship, so if you create a statement, this is really personal to you. What is the statement that's going to give you the good feeling? So let's say I'm in a wonderful relationship with a person that I really feel good about, and I'm really enjoying the good of this relationship. I'm enjoying it. It's perfect for me. It turned out better than I can imagine. I like to use that a lot. So, because then it takes you higher. So what's going to happen is, for most of us, is what'll come up are the statements, the negative feelings or thoughts that you can't have it. Okay. Especially if you're new to this affirmation. So what's going to come up are things like, oh, sure, you're going to meet somebody. How long have you been saying that? Or any kind of a negative statement. Do you know how old you are? There's so many younger people. So let's just say heterosexual. A man might like better than you. So there's all sorts of stuff comes up. Mm-hmm. And my suggestion is don't not let it come up. Let it come up. And, look at it straight on, and you're witnessing it. And you're saying, okay, now all this stuff's coming up. Yuck. So then you let it come up. And my suggestion is, there's a lot of ways you can work with this. You can go very deeply. But my suggestion is, let it come up and then set your intention that this is now dissolved. Okay. So this is your imagination, but set your intention that it's dissolved. So then go back to your affirmation. And really, really important, and Robert, getting back to what you asked, was see if you can get a good feeling that this is already done. One of our spiritual teachers, we have several that we really like and have worked with over the years, many. But one of them, named Michael Beckwith, and he says, get in the feeling tone that it's already done. You're living from the place that it's already done. And getting the feeling, the good feeling, is really what makes the affirmation come alive. Okay, so the secret ingredient, if there was one, is feeling. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So an example might be saying someone is like making a loaf of bread, right? Mm-hmm. So you take the dough and you mix the dough, and then you put it in a pan, and then something has to go in there to raise the bread, right? Mm-hmm. And so yeast would be the active ingredient of making bread. So it's like the catalyst, it gets it going. Or those old pumps, we've heard that story before. There can be water in the well, but if you pump it, nothing comes up. So you have to prime the pump by putting water in the pump, and then you're priming the pump and it gets it going. So feeling is the most important thing. Mm-hmm. And it's the catalyst. Mm-hmm. So why don't affirmations always work then? Okay, that's a good question. Yeah. I would think of it this way, and I'm going to let you also answer this. Or are they always working? Well, actually, the negative beliefs or thoughts or feelings are always working. Okay. Mm-hmm. So the idea is, and they don't always work, and we will come to this again and again over the times when I come as a guest for your podcast. We'll talk more about this. The old beliefs, okay, like I'm going back to the relationship because I started with that. I'm going to keep going with it. But the old beliefs is like, I can't have that. I can't have the happy relationship. I can't have more money. I can't have a job I like. Those are the old beliefs. And so those are strong though. Okay. They might be reinforced by your family. They might be reinforced by our culture. Okay. We're going to share about how we met and I used the affirmations. I can't tell you how many people said to me, oh, how are you ever going to meet a guy? Okay. They're all the good ones are taken, one after another negative belief. So, okay. Now I lost my place. Where were we? We were saying why don't they work? Okay. And then I said, are they always working anyway? So they don't always work oftentimes because the old belief is strong. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And the new belief, it's like a little plant, and you have to water it and take care of it. And if you're not, okay, it will die. So you have to be there and continue to focus on the new belief, even in the face of people saying it can't be done, it can never happen. What makes you think you can have that when so many other people don't? All those kind of things. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So there's many factors, but the real reason I'm going to say is because the old beliefs are stronger, and also because people give up.
So, okay. And then I just have a follow-up question is, does do you just say that verbally, or what are the other ways? Because not everybody is a kind of an audio type person. So what do you recommend?
Well, what I recommend, whatever works for you. Okay. Because that's what's going to work. This has to resonate to you. Okay. So you can do verbal, you can say it out loud. People sometimes feel a little, foolish saying it, but I recommend it. And the other thing you could do is write it down, write it out, the affirmation, keep it simple, and then write it out and, put it on your phone and have it on your notes and look at it when you start feeling a little disheartened or a little discouraged. So, whatever ways, kind of keep you in that flow of that this is happening right now. Okay? It's already happened. So go ahead.
So do I tell people about my affirmation, or what do I do?
Yeah, good point. My suggestion is, and this is used a lot in New Thought and probably other spiritual teachings, is they say keep your own counsel, which basically what that means is don't tell a whole lot of people who aren't going to be supportive of you. Okay. Once again, you want to kind of protect the new belief. And if you tell a lot of people who will say negative things like, oh, sure, not, and most of them are well intended, at least a lot of them are, the people. Their intention is not to be mean for many people, but if they say things like, what makes you think you can have that? Oh, please. Then, it brings you, the person who's experimenting with this, down. So don't share it with people unless they're going to be supportive. Keep it to yourself. And if there is a person that is supportive of you and you're excited and you want to share it, do it if they're supportive, but don't share it with people that are just going to bring you down. So, yeah.
So is there anything that can, like, besides if your friends, say your friends don't support you
in this,
what about like cultural beliefs, like world beliefs? Can you say something?
What were you thinking?
Well, I have to think about that.
Well,
now.
No, I am going to address this though. So, because a lot of times it could be family, could be societal, it could be cultural, but a lot of times a family doesn't support certain beliefs. Okay. So, for example, I grew up in a family where money was tight, and having a lot of money kind of was not a consideration. So if I was to say, I have more than enough money, and I continue to work with this issue, if I was to say I have more than enough money in my family, it was thought of as, you're too big for your britches. There's many words like that. You're too big for your britches. Again, who do you think you are? Why do you think you could have that? There's a lot of cultural beliefs about having more than enough money, a lot. So you might be dealing with those and going, wait a minute, just because my family feels that way doesn't mean I want to live that out for the rest of my life. So there could be many other cultural, family, or societal beliefs that are against, actually, they're in disagreement with what you want to experience. Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that.
You're welcome,
that
Robert.
helps me. And I hope it helps you too. Now, I just wanted to say one thing, that beliefs, there's positive beliefs, and then there's the opposite of that. And everything in the universe has a vibration. It vibrates, it radiates, it has a resonance. So let's live in the vibration that it's already done.
Absolutely.
So we live in the vibration of it's already done. And that could be a whole podcast in itself. So here's where the rubber meets the road. Share about how you used affirmations to meet moi.
Yeah, it's really a great story. And we each have a different version of how we met. And so I was a young woman, and I had just gotten out of a relationship that was really it was painful, and it was what I would call, it felt like a failure from that relationship. It did not work out at all. And after a period of time with my feelings about that relationship, I decided I was going to start affirmations. And I just started out with qualities I might want in a relationship. I knew I wanted a happy relationship. So I made a list of qualities I wanted. I tried not to get too controlling about the list, but just be more flexible. And, we can talk about this more if people have questions about it. So it's better you don't say things like, I want this guy, or this person, not that specific. Keep it a little more open-ended. So anyway, back to me, I made the list, and I actually remember sharing it with one of my coworkers about the list. And she said, you're a spiritual person. Why don't you not have a spiritual man on your list? And I was like, oh, I'm going to ask for spiritual too. How many qualities can I ask for, in this affirmation? But anyway, I did my affirmation list, and I kept it with me at work on my lunch or break. Sometimes I would look at it. And so I'm on a break in the afternoon from the office, and there's benches in front of the building, and I'm sitting there, and Robert comes up and introduces himself. And that's how we met. So it couldn't have been easier on my part. I didn't do anything except for the affirmations. So anyway, Robert, tell your part.
So obviously your affirmation worked.
It did.
Okay. It works if you work it.
Yeah.
All right. And you're patient. Sometimes an affirmation is, you'll see it right away, and sometimes it takes time. So what I was doing was I saw something in the paper, remember newspapers? So I saw something in the newspaper years ago, and it said that there was a lecture about something called the Course in Miracles. And I go, I wonder what that is, a Course in Miracles. And I was free it was like the next evening. So I thought, I'll go to the Congregational Church and hear about it. So I went. I had no idea what it was, and I just sat in the back, and the instructor was had this book called A Course in Miracles. And I just listened, and she happened to say that this book called The Course in Miracles, that there was a paperback or another book based on that called Love is Letting Go of Fear, written by a man named Gerald Jampolsky. And that's interesting. And then I left, and I bought all the books that they had on sale, like I always do, about whatever it was, the Course in Miracles. And then what happened? So then I was working at a medical center, and I decided to go down and have lunch. And there was a deli and a cafeteria, and I went in the deli, and standing right in front of me was you. And we use MM for short. Those are her initials. And she had that book in her hand called Love is Letting Go of Fear by Gerald Jampolsky. And I looked down and I said, aha, now that's a miracle. How could that happen? So then she went to the cafeteria and sat down, and I went to the cafeteria, but I wasn't bold enough to sit with MM. I just kind of sat a few tables over, and I just kept noticing her. And then in the evening, I went out to my carpool, and lo and behold, MM was sitting there with her eyes closed, meditating. And I walked up to her and I said, "You look relaxed." And that's how we met. And then it went on from there. And so I wasn't doing an affirmation. You were doing the affirmation, but all the spiritual work that I did was drawing me to you, or were we drawn to each other? And that was the miracle itself. And I never went back to Course in Miracles because the miracle was manifested.
Mhm.
So that's the story of that. And if we can do it, you can
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah.
So here's what I'm going to give you to do some activities now for just something to work on. I don't like to call it work, just so here they are. Choose an area of your life. I'm looking at my notes where you want to make a change for the better. Write an affirmation about it in the present tense, because we're always working in the present tense, and recite it aloud. You can record it and play it back. You can write it out again and then place it where you can see it. And remember, it's the feeling tone that activates it. And then keep doing this work, keep affirming it, and then watch for any coincidences or synchronicities that begin to happen in your life as relates to that affirmation. And so that's the activities you can do this week. And then what I did was I have a list of one-liner affirmations, and I'm going to just read that. And so here we go. You just stay with it and own it yourself. Okay, ready? I am capable. I am important. I am dynamic. I am creative. I am health. I am vitality. I am abundant. I am intelligent. I am willing. I am successful. I am guided. I am empowered. I am here. I am now. I am ready. I am love. And so it is. So it is amen. So there's a list of real short affirmations that have power behind them. And why do they have power behind them? Because they have feeling. So the next podcast, what we're going to do is we're going to finish up affirmations, and then we're going to move into visualization. So would you like to say anything else, MM?
No, just thanks to you for joining us.
Yeah, we appreciate you being here with us. I know you're taking up your valuable time. So until we meet again, I was going to pray us out. So let's just close our eyes for a minute and tune in and remember that there's a loving presence that I call God or Spirit. It's everywhere and everything seen and unseen. And now feel if it's everywhere, then it's right within you as well. So tune into the presence of divine love, the feeling of divine love within yourself. And then just give thanks for this time together. And I release this prayer into the heart of God, into the heart of Spirit, the heart of God. I release it. I let it be so. And so it is. Amen. So until we meet again, peace and blessings.